Hello, my name is Thomas Foster, and this is for Week 4 Pop Culture Speech. Throughout my life, I've heard a very decent handful of speeches that are truly memorable, but it's not always the ones that are meant to be memorable that truly stick with me, if that makes any sense. Sometimes the speeches that really impact me are the ones that, if you weren't paying attention, you would almost completely forget about them, completely ignore them, because if you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't even realize that it was a speech to begin with. For example, the one that I really enjoy is almost not even a speech. It could be confused just for a small conversation piece. But in 2006's Rocky Balboa, the remake where Rocky is an older man and he's talking to his son after leaving a bar after making the decision to fight again, he was having a conversation with his son. And while talking to his son was upset about how his father's name just seems to be overshadowing him, and nothing that the son ever did was truly his own, because his last name was Balboa, and everyone attributed Rocky to the son. The son was never himself. It was you're not you, you're Rocky's son. Rocky said something in the next few minutes of that conversation that, even though the context was obviously in a conversation, if you really think about it, the speech is really deep. Rocky responds to him after a few very obvious quotes regarding specifically to the son. He says, "When you grew up, I realized it was time for you to become your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. Then when things got hard, you started looking for someone to blame, like a big shadow," referring to himself. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean, it's a very nasty place. I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you until you are on your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it do it. Let it do it. You, me, nobody's gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving. How much can you take and keep going forward? That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying, you ain't what you could be because of him, because of her, because of this, because of that. Only cowards do that. You're better than that. He goes on to continue speaking to the son about continuity issues regarding the movie itself. But it's that one little paragraph that truly hits me. Because no matter who you are, where you are, what your life is, how you were brought up, you are only what you know you are worth. If you know you're worth more, you seek what you're worth. Because when you let people point in your face and tell you you're worth nothing, and you let people convince you of that, that's when you've lost. When you accept that people think that you are worthless, and you start looking for other things to blame, you've lost. You've completely lost everything. You're never going to live through life not having someone point at you. There's always going to be somebody do that. There's always going to be somebody standing your way, constantly trying to stop you. That's expected. That's part of life. It's not about how many times people stand in your way. It's not how many times that someone pushes you down. It's your strength of will. It's your strength of character. It's who you believe you are. Not what other people think about you. Not what other people attribute to you. Who are you? Are you going to let somebody tell you what you are worth? Or do you know what you are worth? And if you know what you're worth, who cares what other people say? Push through it. Push past it. push yourself above it. Keep going. Keep pushing forward. Never stop. Because when the day comes to an end, the only person that can tell you what your worth is you. That truly hits me on a personal level, because where I was raised, I didn't have a lot of support. I spent so much of my life. Well, it's not my fault. They prevented me from doing this. It's not my fault. They forced me into doing this. It took me over 20 years to realize it doesn't matter. There's always going to be that person who says one thing, lets you down, and then puts you down. Push through it. Push past it. Don't ever let anyone tell you who you are, because only you know who you are. I know this speech isn't exactly the most lengthy. It's not even the most popular. I doubt many people even really remember it. But it's small things like that really hit me on a personal level. Thank you for watching my video, and I truly look forward to continuing the class.